Good morning, welcome to Thronebreaker, a new story set in the world of The Witcher, and all the combat is done with Gwent, which is a game that you may have seen I've streamed a little bit of on my channel. I'm quite excited for this, so let's go see. Of course, now that all it says starts working.
Hey, come on. Get them shackles off him. Poor sod can't eat proper.
Dunno, not sure I like that. What if he runs for it? He's worth a heap of coin.
Ah, bollocks. Been holding him a week, hasn't tried a thing. Why he up and bolt now? Matter of fact, got to thinking. What did a sweet, gentle chap like him do to get the Queen of Zericania so riled?
She's a shrew, that's queen and witch in one. Worst of both worlds.
Enough about her. What do you say to one more of your tales? While we toss down some cards.
Ah, why not? And since you mentioned one queen...
I'm familiar with Gwent. I'm ready to put my skills to the test.
The year 1267. War hung in the air, its scent palpable. The mighty empire of Nilfgaard stood poised, greedily eyeing the northern realms just across the Yaruga. In light of the threat, the realm's sovereigns met in summit. They made declarations, pledged fraternal assistance, forged alliances, and then, in good spirits, dispersed. Among them, Meve, queen of the twin realms Lyria and Rivia. Know the name? Heard her beauty extolled? Justly so. Remarkable she was. Not for her graceful exterior, but for her persistence and courage. Where was I? Ah. As the queen and her retinue neared her capital, Count Caldwell appeared. In Meve's absence, the Count was to have helped her son, the youthful Prince Willem, run the Twin Kingdoms. Caldwell had clearly ridden hard. Drops of perspiration dangled from his whiskers, his neck red and chafed from a ruff, starched stiff.
Hail, Your Majesty. Delighted to see you in good health. The summit, it's ended fruitfully, I hope?
Yes, at its end, letters were exchanged, documents signed. Paper. Time will tell of what value. That will suffice as cordialities go, Caldwell. Tell me what's happened, for I sincerely doubt sheer longing prompted you to ride out.
Indeed, Your Grace. Another circumstance inspired me to do so. The strays of Sparla, the bandits, I was attended to during Your Grace's absence. The situation's gotten out of hand, I fear.
It's disappointing.
I deliberated. Wasn't at all certain in giving you the task. I knew you to be an equally good strategist as I am a shepherdess. So my intuition said no. Yet Reynard interceded on your behalf. Your Grace, they're common bandits, while the Count will have a host of men-at-arms to command. Next time, I shall trust my gut. All right, speak. What has happened? Be precise.
As Your Grace ordained, I set out and was nipping at the bandits' tails for long. We pursued for weeks, until scouts returned, having sighted the strays camp in the forest near Lockeren. We waited for nightfall to surprise.
It's not delivered for me, is it? No, it's not.
Alas, it proved a ruse. Straw-stuffed dummies round the fire. Soon, we learned that as we waited for the sunset, the strays had snuck away, rounded our positions and ridden to Hawksburn.
I beg your pardon, my lord. The tax collectors. That is where they station.
For Pete's sake. Get some of that door. I swear, the second I sit down to play something, people delivering stuff at the door, dogs barking.
So the gold? All of it?
It's stolen, Your Grace, but I shall do all in my power to recover it. This I vow, if it be Your Grace's wish.
After weeks in the saddle, Your Grace's wishes are modest. A hot bath and a night's sleep in her own bed. Yet, they shall have to wait. I must look personally to this matter. Your force, Caldwell, I will now command. You... send a herald to Hawksburn. They must prepare for the Queen's arrival. Air the rooms, dust off the porcelain. Make certain they do it. Do you see now, Reynard? I believe I foretold it would be thus. My son wasn't ready in the least to rule an entire country.
I confess, Prince Willem has much to learn yet.
Yes. And very little time.
Can I go backwards? Okay. I can't actually see it past the tutorial. I'll look at the menu in a second. Let's auto continue I log on, and the rest of it's fine. Sorry again about the noise outside, just bad luck is what it is.
Stretched her over a till she told him where she buried her gold.
Rather die than tell him she would, but I know where she kept it. Sit tight, sketch it out for you.
Can I look at my menu again to see the treasure map? Buttons don't seem to do anything at the moment. I can talk her again to see again.
Strays, they're called, Your Majesty, because they bite something nasty and bay as if by the moon possessed. The strays, they're called, Your Majesty.
It's a card for the actual multiplayer. Nice.
Count Caldwell rode at the column's head, scanning its flanks with a wary eye that, despite his advanced age, proved very sharp indeed.
Your Majesty! Bandits! There! At the tree line!
The Count's footmen, unaccustomed to escorting their queen, sought to shield her with their bodies and assumed a tight formation to do so. They were promptly knocked aside as Lee charged headlong at the bandits, brandishing her blade and bellowing a ferocious cry.
Attack! Charge!
Thing about slings, they hide well. To attack the Queen? An outrage!
Moving it to the room. Okay. I know how to play Gwent.
Your Grace, the men await. You must lead
Some
to
stuff
begin
is
the
changing.
attack.
Trying to read what the card does, game. Move one unit to the row opposite this unit and damage it by one. That's only when you deploy. Okay. What have we got? Loyal, boost stealth by 5. What is loyal? You know, reader abilities used. Okay. Reach, I'm assuming, is number of rows. Yep. Okay, so I want to keep him for last.
Aye. Salt of the earth, they are, Your Grace. They'd follow you into fire. You need simply say the word.
Boost now by 4 and give it 1 armor. And of course him being loyal, who then trigger again. Neat.
I shall teach you to respect the crown, you dogs!
That's not a bad start, really. Whenever enemy takes damage, boost self by 1. I mean, I don't really have to play a card. I mean, a bit card advantage here, don't I?
One bolt's all I need.
They both have armor, so it's not really gonna matter.
Look out! Seek cover! We are bombarded!
A lesson in humility coming now. The strays took tail and run. Yes, our victory is assured. Sound the horns. May they sing praises of this triumph for ages.
Battle's not yet done. It is better to conserve our strength. Prepare for a strike that will prove decisive. Battle formation! Protect the Queen!
The player who wins a round plays first in the next round. Okay. So it was normally. I mean, I would just pass here myself and get card advantage, but okay.
Ah, should have listened to me old lady.
Ever have a storm knock out one you'd see.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
Given she got a cooldown of 3, I should have probably played both wildcards first and boosted them both at the same time. That's fine.
Arbalist to your command.
That hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
I congratulate you on your latest victory, Your Grace. The bandits stood not a chance.
It has to move to deal damage as well.
Okay. Matters seem indeed to have gotten out of hand, to put it mildly.
Neve said, arms crossed atop her shining breastplate.
They've grown bold. Doubtless after the raid on the manor, the tax collectors. I've not heard of an ambush on the high road afore.
Caldwell explained, avoiding his liege's wrathful gaze.
Enough, Caldwell. We must put things right. Come!
The Queen's retinue set out, cavalry in front, infantry and arbalists close behind, and, following in the rear, the bandits, bound in chains.
I do adore this prospect.
Yes. Lyria, the pearl of the north. With its hills and dales. Why, its beauty matched only by that of its queen.
After 3 weeks in the saddle, I've my doubts, Count. We shall pitch camp here. Our soldiers need respite. A spell of it they deserve.
Okay, so Goldenwood lets me upgrade my camp. Okay, so there's a currency cap to prevent you from just using all the best cards. Okay. Wagenberg. Damage arenas enemy rolled by this unit's armor amount, then lose all armor. Gain 1 armor whenever a card appears. Huh. Okay, so they don't. They have to have summoning sickness passed, and then they can use that to deal damage. 2 helmets, 250 gold, 50 wood. Okay. Sounds interesting. I don't know if I have any trinkets, so let's maybe not spend currency on that just yet. Mess tents. Camp upgrades. Command tents. Mark location of treasure and resources. That seems it could be pretty useful. Get more money when you win fights. Okay, I need to get those next then. After the training grounds. Create new support units. Move faster. Yeah, having the treasure appear on the map seems like a pretty good thing. Let's have a peek at our deck. So it's got resilience and it reduces my cooldown. Useful. Small portion. Okay, so if I use the units I have orders first then bought them afterwards, then I can get them to use their abilities again. That's pretty decent. Plus 10 power. I love the animation on these cards, they're absolutely beautiful. Death Wishes. Damage a random enemy by 5. Interesting. Yeah, I've seen those guys. Those guys. Play the top blitz unit from your deck. Okay, so any of those guys can come out. Okay, so he's essentially a cantrip. Wagenberg. I'm not sure if that's going to be that good, but 15 cost is the thing. Maybe we'll get better units. Okay, those guys thin themselves out of the deck. Play a random ally from your graveyard. That sounds useful. Okay, what else can I make then? Okay, I can't make more of those, but I already have one. Same. I can recruit any of these guys I need. They just cost money. Can I not make him because I don't have the training grounds? I'm guessing so. There's probably to be a limit on how many Osiridian pikemen you could have in your deck, not just play like 16 of them. Now you can search by the cost. Pretty neat.
Worked in a mess once that served no meat, not even sausage. Weren't long before the men rioted.
What can I pour you, my lady? Vizima's finest? Or a nice Redanian bitter?
Oh, quiet in here. Not at all like the airy bear. Milady, they're an Oddrin in our ranks. Man calling himself that ran up quite the tab last night, then disappeared with nary a trace. If a troubadour paid us a visit, wouldn't that be something? Imagine Master Dandelion performing here. If a troubadour paid us a...
Okay. Current map has 10 golden chests. Okay.
A bit of respite, Reynard.
Yes. But if you've any new orders, Your Grace, I can be ready at any...
At ease, Reynard. At ease. Don't you find it wearisome sitting alone? Wouldn't you prefer another's company? Swapping tales with the innkeep, even?
Your concern, I most appreciate, Your Grace. But I prefer silence.
Has it always been thus with you? Ever a man apart?
Quite the contrary, Your Grace. As a youth, I gloried in company. Delighted in conversation.
So what was it that changed you?
That delight nearly cost me my head. But do you truly not know the tale, milady? How I came to be your departed husband's aide?
I don't, but would gladly hear it.
I had but 20 winters behind me when I enlisted. Yet I was granted the rank of lieutenant from the start. Not by merit, but by birth. The respect of veteran officers, both my peers and seniors, that they could not grant. Nor did I deserve it. To earn that respect became my driving aim. And to seem wise beyond my years, I began spouting off about the king's decisions. This maneuver Reginald botched. That he failed to think through. And yet elsewhere he'd blundered like a schoolboy.
Well, a brilliant strategist Reginald was not. They dubbed him the courageous, not the cunning, for good reason, I dare say.
It was not long before I was clanking about in shackles. Another officer had reported me. I was charged with lèse majesté. The court-martial took but a quarter of an hour to deliver verdict and sentence. I was guilty of treason, and the noose awaited me. But Reginald first stayed the execution, then ordered that I repeat every word I'd uttered about his person or deeds. Soaked with sweat, my voice cracking, I did as he ordained. Reginald listened, raptly and silently, and when I'd finished, he declared I was right. He then appointed me his personal aide. A clever lad like you, I can always use at my side.
Indeed. Though hardly sharp himself, wisdom in others Reginald both recognized and heeded.
It was then I swore two things. Firstly, never again to wag my tongue like a fool. Secondly, never to betray his trust.
And you never did. Know what he told me moments before he passed? Trust none of them, Meve, save Reynard. The old sod was right about that, at least. I thank you for sharing that tale, Reynard. Truly. Alas, I've come to fear Willem might simply not be cut out to be a king, let alone a good one.
A harsh judgment, your grace. Let's not be hasty. The prince is but 16 summers to him.
And is thus fully grown. The crown he should be able to bear at his age. Yet I left the land in his care for but a few months, and look what's become of it. Bandits roam and loot unchecked.
We might yet learn of mitigating circumstances. Events beyond his control.
Would that it were so, Reynard. Would that it were so. Elsewise we must hope Ancaeus will demonstrate more wit than his brother. Though I see little chance of that either. It's time I attended to other matters.
Okay, can we look at maps then. Morale normal, eh? Morale's going to be a thing. Okay, interesting. Okay. This is a pretty decently sized map. Scouts for 50 gold, eh? Okay.
Is this what I pay taxes for? To be robbed along the high road, and in broad daylight, no less? Were it not for mandatory merchant routes and stacking rights, why I'd have gone round, through Sodden. They told me, Lyria's a wild land, lawless, chaotic, damn disgrace. They told me, Lyria's a wild land, lawless, chaotic, damn disgrace.
Could have sworn the map said there was a loot there, but yet. No. Let's find this one. Okay, so you can actually raise and lower the power of your cards through praying.
Gods have mercy. Whatever is this filth?
Necrophages. Drawn here by blood scent.
For such vile monstrosities to prowl the high roads of my realm. I won't allow it. Attack!
The heat positively sweltering. Have we to do with some manner of sorcery?
We shouldn't exclude the possibility, my lord. And great caution we must exercise.
Raymond, what is this? Some spectre? A strigger?
I can't be sure, your grace. It's the first I've seen of any such thing.
Declaration, some copy of it, you know.
Aye.
These carrion eaters. I know them. Appeared on my estate last spring, enticed by the corpses of those of my sheep that fell. Harmless at first. Until, that is, they fill their guts. Seemed to become quite powerful then.
Fearsome they look, true. But they bleed just as we do. Onward! Slay the filth!
Yeah, I can just pass, I think. I can't pass, it's still tutorial time, huh? Alright.
I'm a war sick.
So fortunate we routed the beasts before they had a chance to gorge.
Don't appear to have any mulligans yet, do I? Alright.
Ah, should have listened to me old lady.
Your grace, yet more come.
They fill their bellies, ma'am. This doesn't bode well. Oh no, not well at all.
Yeah, we're only winning by 10 points. Oh no.
Lyria!
Oh, you can't reach him.
One bolt.
Curses. Strong as steers they've grown. And they show no fear.
Frenzied, my lady. It's bloodlust. They lose all instinct to survive, feel no pain whatever. I've witnessed this before.
Your Majesty, we must give ground. Fall back. We can't win. Must minimize our losses.
Oh, I mean, I kind of think... Oh, right. Never mind. Because they think we can win.
My queen, there is no shame in ceding...
Destroy the highest enemy and boost all allies by using his power. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Victory must be ours now. We shall not retreat. Arms at the ready. Attack! Look there! Yet another abomination.
No, that stench. My salts. Where are my salts?
I kind of want to use Maeve here to boost that and keep it alive, but the game won't let me. That's fine.
Give me a target.
It's only shooting for one, though. I mean, I'd rather just play the Arbalist and kill the Rot Fiend, but okay.
Discipline shall bring us victory.
I damage everyone on a roll. Okay, that's better than expected. I thought I was just damaging one at a time.
Arbalist at your command.
The beasts hadn't a chance against us. Victory is ours.
I got a little pirouette she does when you win. Neat. And Rivia seems to affect every card that has deploy charges, so that's good. Doesn't rely on positioning. Rip. Oh, I mean, you're just going to steal your wood.
Many trees we felled, my lady. Might you have need of them? So, take whatever your heart desires. They call themselves strays. Well, we'll treat them like strays. We build a bridge, brick by brick, a one, a two, the pillar grows thick. To near no bandits here. Not surprising neither, for we'd chase them off with our hatchets, we would. To near no bandits here.
Have you seen them? They've fangs, snouts, horns, like a right proper nightmare. Your Majesty, I beg of you, thrash them bandits, please. Scared to step out into me own fields, I am. To raise an hand against the Queen. These hounds hold nothing sacred. Thank you for listening to this tired bag of bones. Folk haven't lent an ear to old Poppy in a long while. Please take this for the road. To raise an hand against...
I don't have any trinkets yet, so I don't need that yet. So it's either workshop or training grounds. I'll have the wood for that. I need that first then, do I? That's $2 grand for the training grounds. Well, never mind then.
Soon, Queen and retinue arrived at Hawksburn. The men stationed there they found standing at attention, baking under the blistering noonday sun.
Your Majesty, Count Caldwell.
Stand at ease, Sergeant, and report.
The local peasants we've rounded up in the yard, Your Grace. Expect they might have lent the bandits aid. Yet our courtesy hadn't inspired them. They haven't peeked a word. Might it please Your Grace to summon the hangman? He ties a noose for them, should have them jabbering right quick.
I'll speak to them first.
Your Majesty, for the Queen to question commoners, why, it's simply not proper.
Whom for? I shan't be stripped of crown and titles for it, so no impediment do I see. Lead me to them.
Bow low for your sovereign, Her Majesty, Queen Meve of Lyria and Rivia.
That's enough. Cool.
We bear no guilt, these simple folk.
Calm your hearts, good folk. Though your queen I may be, you are subjects, not slaves.
Meave extended a hand, the royal ring gleaming upon it. Unfamiliar with protocol, a pleb gripped it firmly and gave it a shake as hearty as a good scrub in the tub.
My, we shall be addressing one another by name afore long.
This is an outrage! Guards! Grab him!
I've all in hand, Caldwell.
Forgive me, Your Grace. I'm not accustomed, no.
Nonsense. You've a firm grip, a spry handshake, and a bold spirit I can respect. What do they call you, man?
Helmer, son of Florence.
Delighted, Helmer. Now understand me, man. I am in dire straits and in need of your aid. So please, answer my queries in full and forthrightly. The bandits, whom do they follow?
Him, milady. We've seen him. No name, just an odd title. The Duke of Dogs, they call him.
My, a blue-blood thoroughbred mutt. Where are he and his hounds bound? Did he say?
Thou recall, Imogen? What do you name? A Gleeton or something?
Clayton. Lord Clayton. His estate lies to the south.
Sound the horns. Have the men form up. We march at once.
Milady! I've no ire for the Duke. He's a good man. Gave us proper brass for the welcome we gave him. Shared what grub he had.
Shut it, louts. The Queen's had her say. Your Grace, your orders. What are we to do with them?
They gave me what I wanted to know.
Leave them be. The harvest draws close. Hard work. They'll have their hands full.
Oh, milady. Thanks be to you, thanks be. I pray Mother Melita may watch over your kind heart.
Pray she watches over yours. Should I hear of you sheltering bandits again, of you lying to my officers, I shall return and put torch to every hut, field and orchard. Understood.
Meave set off toward Lord Clayton's estate at a gallop, her mount knocking the peasants aside as it kicked up a cloud of dust. The folk of Hawksburn spoke of the royal visit long after, albeit ever behind closed doors and in hushed tones.
What is this, Reynard? Bandits attacking royal tax collectors in broad daylight.
They shall pay dearly, Your Grace.
They shall indeed. And not only they. Rot has crept into Lyria, Reynard. My kingdom has been poorly kept.
Treasure map. Yeah, I'll take that. Not too worried about morale at the moment. Again, we're still in tutorial land.
That rumble. What is it?
Look out! Rock slide!
Destroy all boulders. Okay. Okay.
The Save yourselves!
Your Grace, the wagon. We can use it as cover. Forward. We must move it forward.
What now?
You're far fewer than I presumed. Summon your comrades, damn it! Chop chop! Before I reach for my whip. Lyria!
One boat already.
Ha!
Give me a target.
The wagon! Use the wagon now!
We've come through, Reynard. I thank you.
Okay, so there'll be occasional gimmick matches.
The walls
That's
of
kinda
the
neat.
temple collapsed. The buttresses doubtless damaged by something.
Or someone. There's naught we can do here. We ride on.
Pardon me.
A peasant cart, loaded with a heap of hay, came rattling down the road from the opposite direction.
Clear the road!
Bellowed Count Caldwell, standing in his stirrups.
Make way for your queen!
The peasants obediently turned their cart into the roadside nettles. As she passed, Meve glanced towards it and froze. Atop the hay bale lay a badly wounded man gripped by fever. The thick, sweet stench of rot wafted from his bandaged legs.
Gods. Who did this to him?
Meve asked.
Bandits?
Nay, milady,
Replied the cartman.
'twere a beast. Out to the east, down Wetterton way, lies a boneyard, old as the elves, they say.
The peasant continued.
Clayton was setting snares round about there. Came running back to us, drenched in blood, rattling on about a long-haired wench come climbing out a grave. He's taken him to the good sisters of Melitele here on Bridge. Perhaps they can help him.
I'm certain they can. And will.
Replied the queen. Though just looking at the wounded wretch, she knew he'd expire before nightfall.
Godspeed you on your journey.
The queen whistled, and her mare resumed its trot.
Shall I send for a witcher, your grace?
Caldwell asked.
One of those freaks should make short work of the monster.
Until we apprehend the bandits, I shan't allow a single soul to leave our company. Even on such an important mission as finding a witcher.
Meve replied.
Any who did would be captured at once. But, if fate brings us near Wetterton, perhaps we'll see to this monstrous harridan ourselves.
Your grace, we've only just fought beasts and scarcely escaped with our lives. This she-beast will take a silver sword. Magic formulae.
Yet a dozen arbalists will have to suffice.
The queen said, calmly but firmly.
And please, Caldwell, do stiffen your spine a bit. Now onward.
Okay, it's a tutorial. Alright. Neat. So that'll be the cave up there, near Wetterton. And now it's just open. Alright. Let's go up this way then to the church in Melitele and see what's up there before we progress on with the main story.
Kneel and pay homage to the gods. You shall be rewarded. Melitele watches over us all. Yet you do well to remind her through supplication. There is ever time for prayer, even as war rages all around. Pleased to see ye yearn for the holy word, my lady. I'll keep ye in my prayers to the Mother Goddess. There is ever time for prayer, even as war.
Travelling the high road, they heard the bells of a temple to Mother Melitele, situated at some distance. Neve turned towards Reynard.
What have we today? A sacred feast?
Not that I recall, Your Grace.
The Queen's brow darkened, her hands clenched into fists on her reins.
Then they sound the alarm. Follow me.
Stained glass shards glinted in the grass. Bits of down, ripped from quilts, wafted through the air. The priestesses, gathered in the yard, were seeing to wounded pilgrims, setting toppled, oft beheaded or armless statues back on their feet.
What happened here?
The strays of Spala fell upon us.
Sighed the prioress.
Stole the offerings, the monstrances, holy books. My lady, I implore you, come to our aid, recover what's rightly ours.
Ever clever, Neve's scouts soon discovered the bandits' tracks. They led to some thick hazel groves east of the temple. The perfect place to hide, or to lie in ambush.
It's all come clear now. Sabotage. It was the bandits who weakened the walls.
The good mother warned us. Hard times lie ahead. The good mother warned us.
Wheel ruts. The strays, no doubt. They must be nearby.
That was what, like the waterfall from that treasure map.
The dead, as they rest, are disturbed. Something digs up their graves, opens their tombs. Your Majesty, turn back! There, something wicked lurks. The dead, as they rest.
I like that I'm earning cards for the multiplayer mode. It's kind of neat. Especially since they seem to be animated versions. Right, let's see what's going on over here. It's a puzzle. Weaken each enemy to 1 power. Alright. Kind of weird, not just murdering things, but okay. So he's got no cards to play. As a Death Wish, which damages all units on this roll by 4. So we need to avoid killing them. They have a Death Wish to damage a random enemy by 5. I'm probably going to want to play the War Wagon, then redeploy him. So each of the Arbalists does like 7 damage, right? But I don't want to kill them.
Can't take any more.
I'm gonna want to shoot one of them first, aren't I?
A lesson in humility coming now.
Okay, so I don't have any more war wagons to play. That's useful to learn. Okay, so Decod didn't let me replay that turn.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Give me a target.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they can move to get the math right. Right.
Arbalist at your command.
Okay, so I can move those guys around to be able to get them to play more stuff or deal more damage. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put the war wagon down first.
Can't take it anymore.
And then deploy it again.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
These guys can't get moved once though, because we have the order ability once.
Armor won't save.
So now I'm going to want to move him to there.
One bullet's all I need.
So I need to shoot for 7. So we need to move, need to play him, get an arbalist out. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If you insist.
Boom! So I can lose some resources and gain some morale, or I can get some money and lose morale. Don't really care about morale. I know the fights have been particularly challenging so far. Losing 1 power per card is not the worst.
Return. Our prayers have been answered. May the Mother Goddess watch over you. Your Majesty, you return.
Plus they end up countering the morale loss there anyway, so that's fine. I guess we can head this way and see what's on the back of the church. Well, I haven't have to go to training grounds though, we should do that. Or we can build enough of to upgrade this workshop. Get more money for winning battles seems like a good plan. Those Wagenburgs seem okay, but I'm not convinced they're going to be that great. Let's take out one of the field medics and we'll put in the Rivian pikeman we just made. I still haven't seen if there's actually any issue of having... Ah, sure. Tried to take out 5 more. Take out one of the war wagons, because they seem okay, but they just mostly have a lot of power more than anything else. Deck things more useful, I think. It's just still quite a quick more for. I can make more of the arbusts. Right. Okay, so you can just do practice fights. So we're not got much cash now. That's okay. Why do you get random encounters? Because I've seen battles pop up on the map as being something you can go towards, but... Veteran key. Some weird frame rate hitching, which is pretty weird considering that, you know, it doesn't seem like a graphically intensive thing. Wow, that's a nice little thing to find. That'll be the bandits camp we were looking for.
The bandits had pitched camp in a nearby wood. Spirits buoyed by the wine they'd stolen from the cloister cellar, the brigands had not posted.
Another round! To the sisters!
Neve's soldiers were eager, insistent. Desolators were punished. The queen would order the assault.
High time we put these strays on a leash.
Spat the queen, spurring her horse.
To arms! Follow me!
Tankards clattered to the ground as the strays reached for their weapons. The brigands would not even fathom giving up without a fight.
Prevent 3 gold wagons from escaping. Oh, I can actually mulligan now. I can mulligan up to 6 cards. Okay. Nothing has orders, do they? Oh, he has an order. I can recharge him. Okay, 1 brilliant pikeman. Meanic's not going to do anything at the moment.
For Rivia!
Got 9 armor. Street Slinger. Move 3 cards to our row on their side if there were units damaged on my 2. Jeez, ow. After 2 turns on turn start, escape. It's got 9 armor.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
I'm probably not going to be able to damage it enough this turn, am I?
I'll relieve you of that pouch.
Yeah, I'm only going to shoot it for 6. Not going to be enough damage.
Give me a target.
Yeah, it's kind of escape.
Got a death wish?
Regroup!
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
Okay, so triggering the loyal thing will also let them shoot the nearest enemy to them. That'll be more useful than I thought.
You might have got away had you not been hauling so damn much.
Oh, wow. It steals power. That's pretty awesome. I mean, awesome for them, not for me, but, you know.
Our ballista, your command.
To win this, I only have to prevent 3 from escaping. I don't have to destroy them all.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
I'm a monster.
I should hold off on blowing loyalty till they steal the power.
The mist's gonna pass me those lovely earrings, or do I tear them off myself?
Does he not mark her units? I'm not going to be able to do enough damage.
Left, right, left, right.
I'm going to have to do it now.
Stick 'em up, high as the clouds, now!
Again and again and again.
Lyria!
Fuck, our arse is moving.
After 2 turns, boost by power of a unit on the right, then move to the opponent's side. Okay, that's kind of bad for me.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
I don't think I have any more Arbalists in the deck to get, do I?
Time I taught you some respect.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow.
You can just order to be moved around. 2 of those have escaped. I don't think I can actually shoot this one now, so that means I've probably lost then, haven't I?
We must trust each other.
I haven't got room to play any more cards. Well, poop. Yep, I lose because the 3rd gold wagon's going to get away.
That hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Or I won, because they didn't get the start of their turn. Alright, I thought I was going to lose that one, but okay.
The Queen's
I
company
only had to destroy 1
defeated the
wagon.
bandits and recovered the loot. Silver chalices, reliquaries lined with mother of pearl, gold-embroidered robes.
The priestesses would be grateful to have their treasures returned, Your Grace. They would pray ardently for your victory.
Reynard opined.
Yet, you could also keep the silver, expend it on the war effort.
And who's to say which, prayer or coin, would be more useful?
No, we'll give it back to the cloister.
Hard times the realm now endures.
The Queen said, after a pause.
Yet this can't justify a lapse in principles. No. We must defend them all the more.
We've ordered everything returned to the priestesses. All of it, down to the last gulden. Moved by the Queen's gesture, some of the novitiates joined Meade's ranks, aiming to bring succor to any Lyrian wounded in battle. Queen and company rode off, with no gold to show for their toil, but most certainly richer in spirit.
Okay. I mean, then we also found a bunch of gold in the camp, so can't really say we didn't get any gold from it.
Sure you can bind a rabid dog, tie his forelegs together, but you'll not stop him from lashing out and biting.
I mean, you could also muzzle them.
You've bested us, aye, but you'll not find the Duke of Dogs near as easy prey. Oh no!
You're just going to Aru every time I talk to you now? No, okay. That'll do. So the battle down there, then we can return to the priests and see if they have anything else to say to us for giving them back their stuff. May have another treasure map, for example. What is that hitching though? I don't get what the story is with the frame rate having problems. Is that a boulder? Is that a drake down there? It looks like a drake down there. Sure, let's have a go. Okay, got some new cards. Let's have a look at what these guys do. And turns in spawn a harpy egg, which then spawns another harpy. I wonder if the harpy it makes can then spawn a harpy egg. Because if it does, that's kind of a nuisance. Yep, so they can just make infinite harpies. Okay. Permanent resilience. After 4 turns on turn start, consume the lowest units. It doesn't say on their side, it could just be on the battlefield. So I'm probably going to want to... I'm going to want Wagenberg for this, I think. Because I'm going to want him to get armor, so I can then use that armor to murder. On an enemy roll, so I can pick. Okay. Wait, what? Increase counter by 1 and damage a random enemy by 2. Death Wish. Multiply the counter by 3 and damage you by that amount. Jesus. That's going to be damaging.
Armor's a waste of time for one like me.
Ow. Maybe I should just pass.
For Rivia!
Aye.
And it's still just going to make a harpy egg even though. God damn. Oh shoot.
Armor won't save.
I didn't see he passed some time ago. I should just pass him. If I use an order, can I then pass? No, I have to play a card. Okay, that's useful to learn.
Left, right, left, right.
Spawning an egg thing must just be on the end of when you deploy it, right? Can't be continuous. That'd just be insane.
One bolt's all I need.
Again and again and again.
Ah, should have listened to me, old lady. This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
take it anymore.
Keep calm, Tiberius.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Move a random enemy to the row opposite this unit and damage all enemies on it by 1. Okay, that's interesting. I have a 92 power though, so I'm thinking I'm okay.
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Our ballista, your command. There's a time to reap, a
And
time
let's
to
let go be
sow.
loyal again. Okay, I'm kind of winning by a small margin. I'm going to go ahead and pass here. Keep that card in hand. I was a little concerned to begin with, but that oil trigger stuff seems a little bit overpowered. That was weird. I couldn't get through that door. Do I have a key to the cellar door? Where was the cellar door?
Melitele will not forget your sacrifice, nor will her faithful servants. Melitele will...
Or was it just the key to that door that I opened? Because it can't seem that way.
Thank you, Your Majesty, on our own behalf and on that of our pilgrims. Thank you, Your...
Yeah, okay. Card fragments. It's a commander's horn. That could be pretty handy. Given the amount of units I'm able to get out. Looks like I've cleaned this area out pretty well. So let's go to the fast travel point and see how fast travel is. Let's go hitches when it's saving the game are a bit of a nuisance. Okay, so we've kind of cleared out this top area pretty well so far. So let's go and do this puzzle battle. And then we'll head up this way where I think that cave was you were talking about. Oh, fast travel is instant. Excellent. So let's over this way. More ghouls, huh? Limiting all drowners. Do not let any allies die. Takes just 1 damage to turn even into an odd. Huh. Okay, so what do the drowners do? If this unit's power is even, switch rolls and damage all units in the opposite roll by 2. Okay. Average of all units' power. That doesn't sound particularly useful. So it's kind of only 3 power, so if I play that, as soon as those things swap, then they're going to murder. Right. They both trigger.
Arbalist at your command.
Next time they're going to shoot that guy for 4, so he can die. Damage all units on the opposite roll. Do I have to decoy him straight away? I can't stop them from. I can't stop both of them from moving. That's still going to be even now. That's okay, because he'll go to the front row.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
So he didn't destroy them, though, was the thing. I can't just play that straight away because the light infantry only have 2 damage apiece and I can't let any allies die. Can't play him first because he just died when we move. I can't leave him alone because then they'll murder him. I have to decoy him, don't I?
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
But then that's not enough damage because they're still gonna. Still isn't going to be enough though.
One bolt
This doesn't do anything. No, I'm not really seeing how to solve this one. Given this has been on PC for a while, I'm thinking I'll probably be able to do it. Because I don't see there is the answer. Unless I'm just doing something that's slightly the wrong order. If I decoy him first, and use the crushing trap now. Nope, it still doesn't do anything because the average power isn't changed.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Pretty much the same problem. I don't get what that trap is supposed to do. It doesn't seem to do much. Thronebreaker. Crowner puzzle. So yeah, I just don't see what I'm supposed to do with this one. Apparently it is Archer.
One bolt I need.
Return Archer.
Give me a target.
Crushing trap does the job.
Can't take it anymore.
See, I didn't think that the average of 6, 8, and 4 would have been 14, would have been 18. I wouldn't have thought the average would have been 3 from that. So that's just fine. Doesn't matter. Would that be the cornfield up here? It was up over there, wasn't it? No, it's not that one. It doesn't look like that one. Where else did I see any cornfields? that the only cornfield I've found so far? I think it was. Yeah, the random hitches and freezes are kind of annoying. Let's assume maybe some cornfields down here. Yeah, there we go. £150 power? That seems like a lot of power. I'm guessing he has a downside of some description.
Off to Witterton, are ye? Bonnet tune that. Just the folk of me on shite. Off to Witterton, are ye? Off to Witterton.
Appears to be a bit of an altercation.
As they neared Wetterton, the Queen ordered her company to halt. She then sent men to the town for supplies. Those sent returned more quickly than she'd assumed they would, their satchels empty, their mounts foaming at the mouth.
Your Majesty, the townsfolk have gone right mad. Herded all the elves and dwarves at Market Square. 'Tis a slaughter.
Oh, they're doing a pogrom?
If she failed to intervene, the town's streets would flow with non-human blood. Just as she knew her meager force might not subdue an enraged crowd.
What is your command, Your Grace?
Reynard's question pierced the silence.
What can it be, dear friend?
Answered the Queen, then spurred her mount and rode off towards the town. Her troops followed, running as fast as their legs would carry them. When they passed inside the town gate, they saw corpses lining the gutters. Meve realized she had arrived too late to prevent a tragedy. The crowd was drunk on blood. Its rage would need to be quelled with an iron fist.
Eliminate all foes.
Step away, or see your heads bounce down the cobblestones! Reynard, who started this? I must know. So much hatred. We must put a stop to it.
No, that's not what. I would have put them on different roles, game. Come on.
Step away, or see your heads bounce down the cobblestones. Reynard, who started this? I must know. So much hatred. We must put a stop to it.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
We must trust it.
We must strike the largest clusters. Disperse the mob.
Happily, Meve restored order without suffering any losses. Reynard then learned that a nobleman's ire had triggered the violence, ire at having discovered a theft.
Suspicion fell on the non-humans he employed. He accused them, they protested, and the row soon engulfed the town. But there's something else, Your Grace.
Reynard gestured towards an aged man who stood grieving, his face in his hands.
I've witnesses who claim the strays of Sparla are the thieves.
Though the tragedy seemed the result of a misunderstanding, justice would have to be served. Those responsible for the slaughter would need to be punished. The question was, how severely?
Someone steals from you, you don't go murdering them and everyone in their race.
Your excuses I cannot accept,
said the Queen.
The vipers who called for the slaughter, they will hang. The rest...
Majesty!
A townswoman fell to Maeve's feet.
Mercy, please! 'Twere words taken wrong, a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? To don another's cape, pay out insufficient change. These are misunderstandings. What happened here was criminal, and you'll be punished as criminals.
The condemned were hanged at once, without regard to the protests of kith and kin. Those non-humans who had managed to hide and survive made a most generous donation in gold to bolster the Queen's force. I'd like to say Wetterton's small melting pot of races lived on in harmony. Yet alas, I'm not in the habit of propagating untruths.
Yeah. I mean, like, if someone robs you and you say, well, might as well start genociding, then you deserve to hang. Oh, what's that? Point of interest with an exclamation mark.
You hanged good folk today, ma'am. And for what? Because they came to the end of their tether?
And murdered people. And everyone related to them, yes.
You hanged...
Well. Seems humans are near the same after all. Well, nothing left in Wetterton for me now. Close my shop and share the road with you.
Oh, okay. I don't need $200 that badly. I'm going to go sacrificing people. Oh, and yeah, it says it's incomplete, so yeah, okay then. To the grave hag.
The Lyrians entered the graveyard. Crickets chirped in its tall, windswept grass, and lush green moss covered its crumbling gravestones. Only a fresh bloodstain upon a mausoleum wall suggested that something disturbed the dead in their rest and hunted the living.
Save your tears, throw off your grief.
An eerie voice sang, its ghastly lament standing Maeve's hair on end.
Soon your life too shall cease, as you pass into the eternal glow.
A pockmarked, pustule-ridden creature crawled out from behind some gravestones. It vaguely resembled a shriveled, hunchbacked hag, until its head split into two halves, forming a tooth-spiked maw.
Attack! Everyone!
Kill the grave hag. Okay, so what have we got? Death Wish damage all units in this roll by 4. So killing two of two of those would essentially kill everything. Every 2 turns on turn start, destroy the lowest units. So if I make my guys stronger, I don't have Maeve's ability to give loyal boosts though. So I'm going to want her to destroy her grave, her rock fiends to kill herself. I can't pass now. I just lose then.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die. Arbel is to your command. Aye.
A lesson in humility coming now.
Some of the puzzles are a lot easier than some of the other ones.
What was that filth?
The queen croaked hoarsely as the dying monster writhed in agony at her feet.
I know not, your grace,
replied Reynard.
but to be safe, I would have the corpse chopped up and burned. Elsewise, we will not be certain it shall not return.
Yes, have it done.
Meve said, brushing her hair from her beaded brow.
But quickly, lest dusk catch us in this foul place.
The Lyrians soon resumed their march. As they left the cemetery behind them, some believed they still heard the haunting dirge upon the air. Or was it just the wind, whistling past mossy tombstones?
Maeve Warhammer. So same cooldown. Move a card in your deck to the top and strengthen it by 3. So that'll let me actually boost allies straight up on the field, but this will let me choose what I'm going to get from the deck. That sounds pretty useful. It's still going to be strengthened by 3, so as long as it's not a single round, then it's fine. Most of the single round battles I haven't been able to use my abilities anyway, so let's try the Warhammer out with this. Now, being able to move something like Count Caldwell or Reynard to the top of the deck and strengthen it is pretty useful. I still don't understand what the story is with those freezes. I find it really hard to believe that the game is struggling to run on a PS4, especially on a Pro. It doesn't feel like it's loading, it just feels like it's pausing. I don't get why. I can just fast travel to them. I thought Witcher style I had to actually be at them to fast travel. Can I get down to these fields? Doesn't look like I can get that way. So I have to go round maybe? Yes, I have to go around. So it was good to know I just fast travel to the signposts. I thought I had to reach a signpost to fast travel. A useful thing to learn.
Those bandits, dressed as demons they was, horns on their heads and pig snouts instead of noses. Those bandits. Beware, Zomban. Those bandits. Beware.
That's a chest over there.
Off to the nuptials, ma'am. Walk across this bridge here, then ride on straight as piss. An arrow. I'm bringing honey for the groom and his lovely bride. Dance till we die, or the sun lights the sky. Dance till we die, or the sun lights the sky. I'm bringing honey for the groom and his lovely bride. May their new life prove at least as sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of a sweet idea. Bringing honey.
Smells of smoke. Smells of smoke.
Okay, so it's locked. There's a puzzle with the cows. Eliminate the range cow. Don't let any other cows perish. Use your leader's ability. So I can't hurt the other cows. After 2 turns and turn start, destroy the lowest cow. If there's multiple damage, only one of them by one instead.
Left, right, left, right.
So I've got 2 turns before it shoots something. I should have done that at the start of the... Doesn't matter. Should have done that at the start of the game so I can load it again. So he doesn't have the oil ability this time, so yeah, I should put that down.
Left, right, left, right.
For Rivia!
I needed an arbalist there, is what I needed. I get our arbalist first because I can't damage a cow.
Again and again and again.
We must trust each other.
So you need to get the Rivian pikeman is what I need. Okay, I think I have this. I did forfeit again, but I think I know what I have to do. So you play the regiment down. Don't use your ability now. So we use it first to get ourselves one of these guys. So we can shoot an our cow for one, so it doesn't destroy any cows. And then we use this to put a Rivian pikeman on top. Play Reynard.
Discipline shall bring us victory.
And put all the pikemen together on this one.
Not to reason why.
Then we can drop this guy. Shoot for 8. Decoy him back.
Give me it.
And shoot for an arrow.
Maeve's ear suddenly caught brisk music and voices raised in song. She had no doubt. A wedding ceremony had just begun in a hamlet just off the high road. When the bride's father spotted the royal retinue, he rushed up to beg the queen to bless the newlyweds. Maeve obliged cordially. Encouraged, the father boldly invited Maeve and her court to join in the festivities.
You'd do us a right honour, my lady. And your men would bolster their strength afore to march ahead. We beg ye, eat, drink, and rejoice with us.
Sure, let's join in the wedding
Slippers to
celebrations.
dancing, but I trust I'll manage somehow. Lead on, good man.
The nuptials took place in the shade of a vast oak tree. Then the newlyweds and their guests walked in procession to a barn adorned with flowers. An uproarious celebration ensued. As she watched her soldiers dance shoulder to shoulder with peasants, Maeve felt a surge of pride at being their queen. The heart of Lyria. It beat most powerfully here, not in the gilded halls of palaces. Suddenly a cry went up as strange armed men rushed into the yard.
There's the lass! Grab her!
Before anyone could stop them, the bandits took the bride and fled into the woods. The drums and fiddles suddenly silenced.
We're going to have to go get her back then, aren't we?
Weeping, moaning, angry calls for pursuit. Deep grief upon his face, the host turned to Maeve with a plea.
Milady, we beg of you, help us!
We'll not leave you wanting, good man.
Shouted the queen, slipping her feet into her stirrups.
Follow me! Yeah!
The earth trembled beneath the weight of horse and hoof. Tankards laid out for a midnight toast to the bride and groom clinked prematurely in the quake, and the Lyrians charged forth into the dark wood.
heart bursting with love. Oh, to be...
Greenhorn.
Good folk, the Queen's returned. Welcome her we must. Tribute in hand. Ah, our Queen. Why pretty as a painting she is.
Ups, ups, merry little plant. Weddings without ye, revel we shan't.
Folks say the black-clads come our way. I say let 'em. We've pitchforks enough for 'em all. Ah.
Couldn't we get up to that area in the north, could I? Didn't see a way up to it. Guess it's just there as a... These don't have any cost? Oh, those are trinkets. Right. Replaying an ally seems more useful than boosting 1 by 10. Wearing horn sounds good though, boosting allies and damaging enemies. More trinkets would be vaguely useful, but not necessary at the moment. Getting more gold per window. Yes, let's have that. Then we'll save up to get the more recruits per one.
Smells of smoke.
Though the Lyrian cavalrymen had imbibed spirits throughout the night, they not only managed to stay upright in their saddles, but even gained on the bandits and cut off any chance of escape.
Prevent the bandit abductor from reaching the right side of the roll. Whenever it takes damage, move 1 place to the left. But it has 25 armor as well. Okay, we've got 1 pikeman, got some blitzers to get more cards. We don't really need the loyal guys, what we need is dealing damage. You know what, we should play the Arbalest first.
I'm a horse.
We'll move one of the arbows to the top, I think.
The chase is on!
What's that got? Marker unit, every turn damaged by one once destroys mark on our enemy. That's pretty decent. That's pretty effective. Gonna give them that. Then we'll drop the Wagenberg. After that we can drop the pikeman and give it a whole bunch of points.
Pays late. Again.
Okay, so it counts damage through the armor. It's going to take 1 damage a turn. That's okay. We can drop in our Arbos next. And drop the Regiment Drummer next, actually. Maybe we can play the Arbos from the top of the deck. Then we can play Reginald. Okay.
I smell a leak.
Poise, set a row on fire.
Quickly, we must stop them.
Oh, that's bad. That's just going to do 2 damage a turn.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Or is it just like Moonlight and does 2 damage once? I'm not sure of the rules of it yet.
You mad? Don't shake that!
30% chance of damaging all units on the roll by 2. Okay.
A lesson in humility coming now.
Left, right, left, right. Again and again and again.
Overkill a little bit, but
Meave's troops defeated the bandits and rescued the bride. Only to be surprised. For the maiden fair dropped to her knees and burst into tears of sorrow, not joy.
Weep not, child.
The queen said, placing her arm upon her shoulder.
It's over. You're free.
Nay,
she
not
paid
so,
bandits.
Your Majesty. Milady, I've no love for Jan. No wish to wed him. It's my father. My family forced me. My heart's Fimbers. He arranged the masquerade. I beg ye, if you've 1 ounce of kindness, if you've a heart, let us leave this place together and free.
Fine.
The scheme you've pursued, I can't condone. Folk have been wounded. Some might have died.
Said the Queen.
Yet, equally, I cannot let others force you to marry.
So, may we go, Your Grace?
You may. Fast as your legs will carry you, afore I've a change of heart.
Though none dared utter a word of chagrin, Meve sensed her subjects' bitter gazes upon her. At the first light of the morn she left, without so much as a nod goodbye.
We'll go back to the town and I wonder if they have anything to say. Sorry I ruined your wedding.
Oh, poor Jan. Pity the lad. True, he's no looker, but he's got an heart of gold. Oh, poor Jan.
Oh, to be young.
I didn't see a way to get to that wood. So let's go back up there and have another look. There we go. Does that stuff respawn? 'Cause that looks like more wood up there. I could swore I've gotten that. I suppose respawning wood piles would get rid of a lot of the issues of difficulty. You just grind it out. Oh, an avatar border for the game. Nice. I should really give that a go at some point this afternoon. The homecoming update. I have quite a few kegs to open, I imagine. Given I played it for about a year and a half.
You spy that column of smoke? God damn it! Make haste!
As the Clayton estate appeared from behind a tree line, the Queen and all in her retinue knew at once they had arrived too late. A veritable swarm of bandits milled about the yard.
Who have we here? I'll take a gander, lads. The Queen herself has deigned to come and see us.
See you, then kill you.
The strays of Sparla. 'Tis you who lead them. 'Tis you they call the Duke of Dogs.
Aye, 'tis I they dub so. And in other pleasant ways. Prince of Pariahs, Thane of Thieves, Baron of Brigands, and Marquess of Mendacity.
Colourful titles all, yet you omit one. Common cutthroat.
I beg your pardon and cry foul. I am anything but common.
You needn't get excited, Caldwell. Where is Lord Clayton?
Sadly, my lord's no longer with us. Turned us away, you see. Denied us hospitality. A sacred right, after all. Angered the gods mightily, I expect, as he promptly met a tragic end. Fell in the well and broke his neck.
I've heard enough. To arms! Attack!
Optional, eliminate Gascons, surround them with powerful units. Okay, so we've got one pikeman to thin the deck, got some blitzers, some loyal boosts, warring horn. Yeah, I'll probably be fine.
Oh, lads! What say we throw this queen a ball?
Why is he on my side? Okay, so that would mark enemy units. If the sum of adjacent units' power is higher than self, damage self by 3. Every turn, move to a random position to damage adjacent units by 2. So I could really use the other order ability of this game to, you know, shoot. Alright, so what we're going to want to do then is drop him, use the loyal ability.
One bolt.
I can't shoot gold. Okay.
Again and again and again.
Catch! Stand back! Tis some alchemical concoction!
Aye.
If you insist.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Well, well, my congratulations.
I smell a leak.
Left, right, left, right.
No time for that.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
Arbalist to your command.
Not the more useful use of main
Her
art.
Majesty
Okay.
is exceptional.
Armor won't say.
I really wish I could just shoot Gascon, but you know. I can't actually play any more units. I can play like 2 more, I think.
We got a job to do.
I can just put that back into my hand. That's handy. still not actually sure how I'd even damage Gascon at this point without having the boost my unit by 5 thing. It seems like the only way really to do it.
Should have listened to me, old lady. This artist will be reaping black-clad heads.
Like, you'd want to drop 2 wearing Scythemen on either side of him, then use your loyal ability to boost him, and naturally have him start hurting himself. Of course it boosts Gascon, because of course it does. I think I might win this by a small margin.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Shh, cork it.
Only by 100 points.
Bravo, Your Grace. Well played.
I can't say the same for you, I fear. You'd have done better to die in battle. Bound for Lyria now, where the hangman will have his way with you.
Splendid! I've ever wished to see the capital.
Quite certain of yourself, you seem.
Many afore you have braided nooses for me, Your Grace. Yet as you see, my neck's straight as a pike.
My threats are never hollow. And if it's an escape you weigh, well, we've yet to see any man abscond from the dungeons of Lyria Castle.
I'd hope so. For to be known as second just wouldn't be worth the trouble.
Ugh. Take him away.
As soldiers placed the Duke of Dogs in shackles, there was a sudden commotion. A messenger rushed in, sweaty, gasping for air, smelling of smoke and blood. His gaze spoke terror.
Your Majesty, graces. Nilfgaard's crossed the Yaruga. Black-clad hordes. Villages burned. Folk lie murdered.
Nilfgaard! Gods help us!
They march for Dravagrad. Prince Willem, he can't hope to arrive in time with aid. Help us. You must.
Dravagrad. Blast it all. Listen close, soldier. You're to take a fresh mount, ride hard back to your commander and say the Queen comes to repel the foe.
Your Grace, begging your pardon, our force. We aren't many. Let's send for reinforcements first. Elsewise...
Reynard, I've seen Nilfgaard's trebuchets at work. Should we delay until we're stronger, they'll leave no stone standing in Dravagrad. We must ride for the town at once.
As her men prepared to march, Neve climbed the manor's tower. Smoke rose in columns in the distance. As more black pillars appeared one after the other, she knew they meant another home, another barn, another mill was in flames. Tears welled in her eyes, yet they were tears of anger.
Bastards. If it's war they seek, it's war I shall bring. Reynard, prepare to ride!
What does the Rivian broadsword do? It's got a long cooldown, but damage an enemy unit and all other enemies with the same power by 4. That could be pretty dang strong. That's pretty useful. Well, we're good for now. Why did it freeze just there? Why is it freezing in menus? Why is it freezing at all?
Ah, if a troubadour...
Yeah.
Yes, Your Grace?
It's time I
same
attended to
stuff.
other matters.
I think we can get the training grounds upgrade now. Get an extra recruit after the battle. Oh, we need more wood. Okay. We have plenty of recruits though. They haven't really been building any cards though. Yeah, I'm not really sure why I take out. My deck's working pretty well so far.
First bandits, now this. Misfortune does indeed come knocking twice.
It's just gonna keep freezing up, huh?
In hobnailed boots, tramping upon my land. Nilfgaard shall regret this. I swear on all that is sacred and blessed.
Suddenly, Meave's force found itself marching straight towards a Nilfgaardian company. To the Queen's surprise, the invaders did not immediately assume battle formation. They proceeded instead in her very direction without a sign of panic. The man leading the Nilfgaardians was clad in rich robes. He exuded pride and the scent of musk.
I am Traern Varvdifir, Your Majesty. I was asked to present your esteemed grace the ultimatum of the forces of the Empire of Nilfgaard.
The envoy cracked the seal on a scroll, unfurled it, took a deep breath, and began to read.
I, General Ardal Ebdahi, demand the immediate and unconditional surrender of Lyria and Rivia. Elsewise, I will burn down every city, town, village, and temple, place all your subjects in chains, and your armed men, defeated and captured, I will hang along the roadsides as a warning to all others in the barbarous north.
As the final threat echoed in Meave's ears, the envoy put away the scroll and stood waiting for her answer, a mocking smile on his face.
How about
He
no?
allowed himself this insolence, believing the immunity accorded diplomats would shield him from any form of royal ire.
No, we won't go attacking diplomats.
I thank you, sir. A sophisticated missive that proves beyond a doubt Nilfgaard's superiority over the culturally backward north.
Answered the Queen in a voice frostier than Mahakam's snow-capped peaks.
To delay this matter I see no reason, so I give you my response to His Excellency. Go ahead and try, Whoreson.
That said, Meave slapped her mount with her reins and galloped away, leaving the Nilfgaardians in dust. Envoy and escort turned to go whence they came, the Lyrians sending them off with a din of whistles and curses.
Still not really seeing how to get that treasure chest. Maybe around the back of the castle? Quite an expansive world map. figuring there's probably more than one. Oh, we have enough for that workshop upgrade now with the wood we got. We don't need recruits at the moment that badly, but we might as well get more currency for winning fights. The sooner you get them, the better you get off. Just enough guarding camp here. No biggie. I gotta say, I'm quite enjoying this so far. Looking forward to seeing what this sort of stuff is like with the actual multiplayer stuff, with the new decks, new cards. Presuming you can't target bosses, but that wouldn't be like these guys, would it? If anything, I should probably take out the field medics because I don't often use them, really. So the Magna divisions, summon a copy of this unit from your deck.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Shoot, if I played the Arbalest first, I could have just straight up murdered it and prevented it from making any more. Damage an enemy by 2. Whenever an enemy appears, gain 1 charge. Wow, that's pretty good. So you can just shoot for 4 and kill my Wagenberg before it even gets any armor. If the AI's smart, that is. Keeps pausing.
Life is mine now.
Yep, the AI's pretty smart. Wow. You know what? Let's start over. Oh, an error occurred. It broke.